Hello everybody and welcome to Anomaly Researchers UK's YouTube channel. This time we have a story from Lincolnshire and it is called The Werewolf of Dog Dyke. This is a story uncovered by Roger Parsons and is a fascinating account of Lincolnshire's very own werewolf legend. This is what Roger has to say about the story. I quote, "The story was recorded in 1926, and even today it sends a shiver down my spine. Reading this short tale, I wondered if other Lincolnshire places were said to have been home to such creatures. It was in an archaeological dig that the bones of the creature were found and a chapter of events set in motion. Without giving anything away, I would advise my archaeologist colleagues to avoid bringing unidentified bones into the house and leaving them on the kitchen table." The Werewolf of Dog Dyke, dated 1815 to 1864. Legends of the Fenland People as told by Christopher Marlowe M.A., author of The Fen Country, 1926. Another extraordinary story of transformation was told by a young man who lived in Langrick Fen, not far from Dog Dyke. He was an ardent archaeologist and one day while digging in the peat discovered some ancient remains. Among them was what looked like a human skeleton with a wolf's head. Carrying the object into his cottage he placed it on a table and examined it carefully. But he could make nothing of it and concluded that it must have been some monstrosity, such as showmen bring out at fairs to excite the interest of the crowd. That night, however, he found himself unable to sleep, and fancying he heard a noise in the back premises, got up to investigate. Suddenly he heard a sharp rat-tat on the window pane and looking round perceived a dark object looking at him. This speedily resolved itself into the form of a human being with a wolf's head. Every feature was distinctly marked and there was no possibility of reflection, since no light was visible anywhere. As the young man stood transfixed with horror, the creature gave a snarl of savage exultation and raised its arm to dash in the glass, whereupon he recovered the power of movement and fled into the kitchen. A crash sounded behind him and he wasted no time in locking and barring the door and erecting a barricade of furniture against it. There he waited all night in a cold sweat, while the stealthy pad-pad of feet sounded without. At last the first streaks of dawn told him that his long vigil was over and as the light grew stronger he ventured to unbar and open the door. Nothing was visible of the ghostly visitor, but the table, whereon he had placed the skeleton was overturned and the window of the room was shivered into fragments. Hastily collecting the remains of the uncanny being, which lay scattered all over the floor, he buried them again in the same place, where he had found them and covered them over with several layers of peat. Nor was he again disturbed, though for many years afterwards, he would describe with vivid gesture his peculiar adventure with the supernatural. Now we skip forward in time to 2016, and the story says, and I quote, "Earlier this month, a woman found the bodies of two mutilated hares in her garden and two very large paw prints on her window. Jackie Greenfield said she was freaked out after the finding at their remote home in Skellingthorpe. They then found the bodies of two hares on their lawn later that day. Jackie said, I have never seen a cat, dog, or fox anywhere even near our property. It's just very strange. We would go out at night and sit on the patio but since then I've been a bit wary. We look around and think, what is out there? This is not the only recent sighting. In December 2014, Adam Bird found a huge footprint in woods near Friskney. And he also snapped a mysterious dark creature lurking in the trees. He said, it looks like a shadowy figure stood within the trees staring at us from afar. It shows something dark, a different color against all that greenery." Roger Parsons, of the Lincolnshire Heritage Trust, said he believes the legend of the werewolf could be true. He said, the story of the Werewolf of Dog Dyke was recorded in 1926, and even today it sends shivers down my spine. The find seemed to awaken some creature and it set a series of strange events into motion, which some say are still happening in the area today. End quote. I will do some further digging on this story. I am pretty sure that I have seen quite a few reports of a werewolf-type creature in this area of the country, so stand by for other reports from us in the future. Thanks for listening. Until the next time then, goodbye for now.